Hey everyone, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're literally unlocking the secrets behind what it actually takes to build serious wealth and scale a massive business. We're looking straight at the core principles from Midas Touch, which is a book co-authored by two absolute titans of business, real estate mogul Donald Trump and financial educator Robert Kiyosaki. So if you've ever found yourself wondering how some people just seem to turn everything they touch into gold, well, you're in exactly the right place.
But first, we really have to face a pretty harsh reality here. Why do 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs fail in their first 5 years? I mean, most of us are raised with that same traditional advice, right? Go to school, get good grades, get a safe, secure job. But here's the catch. Schools are generally designed to create employees, not entrepreneurs. That traditional path, honestly, leaves most people completely unprepared for the vicious, high-stakes world of actual business.
Okay, let's dive into this framework. The core metaphor we're looking at today is actually the 5 fingers of a hand. Trump and Kiyosaki argue that you need to master 5 very specific traits, represented by each finger on a hand, to develop your own Midas touch. If you've got all 5, you can essentially turn your business into gold. But if you're missing even one, things can fall apart real quick. So let's start with the most foundational finger of all.
Number 1, the thumb, representing strength of character.
Think about it for a second. Without a thumb, your hand is basically just a paw, right? You can't really grasp anything. Well, in business, the thumb represents your strength of character and, crucially, your emotional maturity. As Thomas Edison so perfectly put it, I haven't failed, I found 10,000 ways that don't work. Midas Touch entrepreneurs use their emotional intelligence to literally turn bad luck into good luck. They fail fast, they course correct, and they just keep moving forward.
And you really have to notice the stark contrast here. In the classroom, A students are rewarded for making the fewest mistakes. But out in the real world of business, the people who make the most mistakes and actually learn from them the fastest are the ultimate winners. Mistakes build what psychologists call intrapersonal intelligence. That's just a fancy way of saying it's the emotional toughness you absolutely need to silence those inner doubts and bounce back after a defeat.
Moving on to number 2, the index finger, which stands for true focus.
The index finger naturally points the way. But we're not just talking about concentrating on a random task here. It actually stands for FOCUS, following one course until successful. And what exactly should you focus on? Well, enter the cash flow quadrant. It basically divides the world of money into 4 types of people. You've got employees and the self-employed on the left side, and business owners and investors on the right. If you want that Midas touch, your focus absolutely must be directed at the right side of this quadrant.
So why does this matter? Well, this is the absolutely crucial point. On the left side, the E and the S are essentially just trading their time for money. Even if you own a small business, if it relies entirely on you being there, you don't actually own a business, you own a job. True wealth is built over on the right side, the B and I quadrants. That's where you build assets and leverage other people's time and other people's money so you can scale infinitely.
Next up, number 3, the middle finger, which is all about your brand.
So the longest finger on the hand represents what you and your business actually stand for. A brand is a promise. It's not a commodity. Without a solid, genuine brand that stands for a specific promise, your business is just another commodity. And that means you're forced to compete on price. And let's be real, competing on price is just a race to the bottom. Your brand is really an extension of your spirit. It's what you promise to deliver to your customers every single time they interact with you.
Which brings us to number 4, the ring finger, representing relationships.
The ring finger traditionally wears the wedding band, right? It represents partnerships. And in business, it is an absolute truth that you cannot do a good deal with a bad partner. To structure those relationships, elite entrepreneurs use something called the BI triangle, and this brilliantly illustrates how a Midas Touch entrepreneur actually organizes their team. You see, the best entrepreneurs aren't usually specialists, they're generalists. They sit on the outside of this triangle, providing the mission, the leadership, and the team building, while hiring brilliant specialists to work on the inside.
And those inside pieces, they are the 8 integrities of a business: mission, leadership, team, product, legal, systems, communications, and finally cash flow. An entrepreneur has to orchestrate all of these moving parts. Think about it. If you just focus on having this amazing product, but you totally ignore your legal, your systems, or your cash flow, your business is going to collapse. You have to learn how to speak the language of all these different specialists so you can lead them effectively.
Finally, number 5, the little finger, or the details that count.
So we arrive at the pinky, Mastering the little details is what allows a business to truly scale globally and completely separate itself from the competition. You really have to find that little thing that becomes a big thing. For example, when Donald Trump was building Trump Tower, his father just couldn't understand why he wanted to use super expensive glass instead of traditional brick. But Trump knew that luxurious, sleek glass was the crucial detail that would make the building a global landmark. That little detail completely defined his brand. Or take McDonald's. For them, it's the exact, consistent Christmasness of their fries anywhere in the world. So you have to ask yourself, what is the little thing in your business?
And that leads us to the ultimate Midas touch, bringing it all together.
When you combine all 5 of these fingers, character, focus, brand, relationships, and details, you hold the Midas touch. But why even go through all this struggle in the first place? Well, it really comes down to this one provocative thought. Governments don't create real jobs. Entrepreneurs do. The ultimate purpose here isn't just to get rich, it's to build assets that solve actual problems, drive innovation, and create secure jobs for people all around the world. So the question is, are you ready to develop your Midas touch and employ the world?
If you enjoyed this, subscribe to In 8 Minutes and never miss what matters.